What is up, guys? Delboy here. So several reports are suggesting that James Degale versus Chris Eubank Jr. will go down on the 8th of December somewhere in London on ITV pay-per-view. Now, what do I think of this fight? First and foremost, I actually feel this is perfect timing for Chris Eubank Jr. James Degale is still somewhat of a name, but in my opinion, he is on the slide and has seen better days. James Degale has been through quite a few tough fights in his career. He has sustained a lot of injuries throughout his career, and I really feel now he is on the way out. And, you know, Chris Eubank Jr., I think, will see James Degale as a springboard back to the top. And I think it's good matchmaking in that sense. I think it's sort of perfect timing for Eubank Jr. Stylistically also, I feel James Degale, you know, throughout his career, has got in the habit of sitting on the ropes. You know, sometimes that was due to injuries and whatnot, but, you know, throughout James Degale's career, especially post the George Groves fight, you know, he's had a habit of sitting on the ropes, trading, taking punishment. And, you know, it's been a theme of his fights for quite some time now, for multiple years. And, you know, doing that against Eubank Jr. will give Eubank Jr. all the opportunity to land his combinations up close and to maul you and to outwork you inside. So, stylistically, I also don't think this is a bad matchup for Chris Eubank Jr. You know, James Degale, yes, he's got Olympic pedigree. Yes, he's an Olympic gold medalist. Yes, he's a former world champion. But if you look at the things that Chris Eubank Jr. struggles with, I don't think James Degale really possesses that, you know. If you've got a good jab, if you can keep distance, if you've got decent feet, chances are you are going to give Eubank Jr. a lot of issues. I mean, look at the Billy Joe Saunders fight. Look at the George Groves fight. You know, both guys with good jabs, decent distance control, and they gave Eubank Jr. a lot of problems. James Degale doesn't have those attributes. I mean, go back to the Badou Jack fight. I think James Degale landed like 6 jabs in that whole fight. James Degale was not a jabber. He's a guy who likes to land. He's a weird fighter. He's got an unorthodox style. He likes to throw punches in bunches from weird angles. He's got a weird stance. You know, he delivers his punches in a weird way. You know, James Degale is not a conventional fighter whatsoever. And I feel stylistically he will give Eubank Jr. a lot of opportunities to get some work off, especially, you know, as the fight like wears on, you know, past like the 3rd and 4th round when James Degale slows down. I think that's when Eubank Jr. will come into it and have success. Early rounds, I think, you know, James Degale, maybe he might be able to bamboozle Eubank Jr., but I don't think James Degale can fight 12 rounds at a high pace anymore. I really don't. Even back in the day, you know, James Degale boxing to and maintaining good output for a whole fight, you know, he's never really done it. So, you know, I can't see that happening now. I really feel James Degale is up against it here. You know, a lot of people online are saying James Degale is going to win this fight if it happens. I can't see it. I would be really interested to see the odds on this fight. I really, really would. Will that translate to the bookies' odds? You know, a lot of people out there saying James Degale is going to win this fight. I'm not sure, man. I mean, let's look at James Degale's last few fights. I mean, the 2 fights with Caleb Truax. You know, he lost the first one and just about won the second fight. Listen, say what you want about Eubank Jr. As far as I'm concerned, he's a far better fighter than Caleb Truax. You know, Badou Jack, obviously, I felt James Degale lost that fight clearly. Before that, he fought Porky Medina. Again, Porky Medina, rugged guy, tough guy, but really limited. Again, a lot of people felt Porky Medina beat James Degale. Before that, Lucien Butte, well past his best, gave James Degale a lot of problems. Andre Durrell, yes, James Degale won that fight, but again, look at how he faded in that fight. If we're looking at recent form, I really feel James Degale is there for the taking. And yeah, Chris Eubank Jr., he's a guy with a lot of flaws. He's a guy who, you know, maybe lacking in boxing ability at the highest level, but stylistically I think he's all wrong for James Degale, and I'm really, really adamant about that, you know. Like I say, James may be able to do some things early on, you know, use his angles, use his unorthodox style, but after the third or fourth round, I think he's really going to struggle here. So like I say, in that sense, I really feel it's a good springboard for Eubank Jr. to get back to the big time, and in the meantime, he will beat a guy in James Degale who, you know, still has a, you know, recognisable name, and yeah, he's still somewhat relevant. So I think this fight makes a lot more sense for Chris Eubank Jr. than it does James Degale, depending on where James Degale wants to go from here, of course. But yeah, the build-up will be good though. You know, both guys have said a lot about each other over the past few years, so you know, the verbal exchanges will be interesting, and it's a fight where both guys really kind of divide opinion amongst the public. So I would be interested to see who is actually the fan favourite going into this fight. You know, fans have never really taken to either one of these guys, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, the build-up should be good. Is this fight a pay-per-view fight? You know, I would have to see the undercard, but in 2018, I mean, like I say, fun build-up, but is it really that good of a fight in terms of pay-per-view quality? I don't think so personally, but we will see. How do you guys see this fight? Am I underrating James Degale? Am I overrating Chris Eubank Jr.? I don't think I am overrating Chris Eubank Jr. I think it's more of a fact that James Degale is past his prime now. That's how I feel anyway. What do you guys feel about this fight? Peace.